This is Gnarlbine Rock, about 30 k's south of Koorarawalyee. We're here because we're going to have a look at Mr. Charles Hunt's well, or one of his wells, I should say. The question is, who is Mr. Hunt? Mr. Charles Hunt was a surveyor explorer, and in the 1860s his services were engaged by the government to establish a track with strategically placed water wells or water sources between York and Hampton Plains or Karalee. The idea was to assist the early explorers explore the land, encourage farmers, pastoralists to get out and open up the land, and a little bit further down the track it enabled the prospectors to travel out to the goldfields, and that really got things moving in the state of Western Australia. And this here at Gnarlbine Rock is a fine example of one of Mr. Hunt's wells. 250 metres south of Hunt's Gnarlbine Well, there is another well, a pioneer well. The well has been located by the Hunt's Wells and Track team, and they've cleared a track into it because it's very thick bush here. And this is a fabulous well. It is located on the east side of the road, and where across from where the rock is very close to the road, and this well is a beauty. It's about 3 metres diameter and at least 3+ metres deep. This is Hunt's well number 17 at Koorarawalyee Rock, established in 1865. It's a very nice well, fabulous rock work, and be 2 or 3 metres diameter and at least 2 or 3 metres deep. Great well. In a natural catchment, so I suspect in winter this fills up with water and is a nice little lake or natural dam. Once again, Hunt's well is at the base of a large granite rock which acts as a natural catchment area to funnel the water into the well. Since Hunt built his well, someone else has dug a massive dam and done some rock work around the edge of the rock to make sure the water went in the right direction. They've created drains and rock work up on the rock behind the well. There is a cairn. Cairns were often constructed by explorers as markers and also by surveyors who used them to sight to back in the days before GPS. Karalee Rock, another example of using the rock as a catchment area, a dam at the base of the rock, and in this case there's a flume or aqueduct or overhead pipe channeling the water straight into the dam. And this is Karalee Dam, a massive dam built to supply water for the steam trains that were running from Perth to Kalgoorlie or the goldfields. There was a Hunt's well at Karalee Dam, but they believe it may have been included and buried in the dam when they built it to supply water for the steam trains. There is this pioneer well built probably sometime after Hunt's well. Same reason, to supply water for the travellers, and as you know, water is an essential item when travelling, or an essential item at any time. Nice well, nice rock work. We're starting to see a pattern there, very similar to design. A nice well. Inside the fence enclosure here we have another hole which was probably going to be a well or a dam, and I know I keep saying this, so I'll say it again. There seems to be wells, pioneer wells and tanks and dams everywhere, and that is how the early explorers and the gold rush people were able to get around. Karalee Rocks, well worth a visit. It's only about 3 or 4 k's off the highway, located east of Yellowdine. Lots to see, lots to do, and it is okay to do an overnight stop here. Gnarlbine Well number 9. A nice well, could do with a bit of a tidy up, about 2 metres diameter, currently a couple of metres deep, just south of the town side of Gnarlbine, and it's about maybe 200 metres north of a rock and 30 metres south of the road. This is a dam at Merredin, built in the 1890s to supply water for the steam trains heading towards the goldfields. We have another good example of utilising the granite rocks as catchment areas. There's a rock up behind this dam and water runs off the rock into the dam. They put extra rock walls and drains in to catch the water, and this dam can hold 25 million litres of water. So when it rains, the water runs down the rock. They've built little levee banks and dug drains and all sorts to steer the water into a massive collection drain like this one in front of me, which persuades the water to run into the dam here. And back in its day, the water would be pumped into an overhead tank which sits in town adjacent to the railway station to top up the steam trains. They stopped using steam trains around 1969 when they swapped over to diesel. So right in the middle of town, next to the railway station, which of course is next to the railway track, is the water tank that was topped up from the dam and used to top up steam trains. It is a beauty with appropriate signage on top, of course. Well, we're just southwest of Merredin at Totadgin Rock, Hunt's Well number 7, another one of Hunt's Wells, built in the 1860s, mid-1860s. This one is slightly different design. It's a very narrow diameter well, rock lined. It'd only be a metre or so diameter. As you can see, the vegetation around the well is very thick, and fortunately in 2016 a group of dedicated people, the Hunt's Well Track and Explorer guys, came and cleared the well to make it much easier for everyone to locate.